Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 185 is brought to you by Caroline Smalls, Bodhi, and Nitsi, some of our newest Patreon patrons. This week, Nina, Sergio, and I are going to cover all the latest Animal Crossing news. Nina will be giving us some in-depth information on a piece in the museum, and then we'll quickly go over if we think Animal Crossing will be at E3. So to begin, hello Sergio, how are you doing?
Hi Chuy, I'm doing pretty well. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna say it's June right now, whenever we're being listened to, even though for us it's not. But yeah, happy June.
Happy June. And then hi Nina, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I leave tomorrow for a family vacation, so getting my apartment ready. I can't leave a dirty apartment. I don't know if anyone else cleans before they go on vacation, but I've been in a little bit of a frenzy.
We tend to.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta pack too.
Yeah, I think it's a thing a lot of people do, probably.
You
Let
want
us
to come
know.
home to a nice place, right?
Yeah.
That's what Jackie says.
Yeah.
So we tend to do it. I mean, our place is going to be perpetually a mess from now on since we're packing and everything, getting ready for a move. So we're just dealing with that for now.
Yeah, you just have to get used to it, I guess.
Yeah. Before we get too far into the show, though, I do want to point out it is the beginning of June, and we have some new Haken artwork to share with all of you. This piece comes from Eliza Grace Illustrations, and she's done quite a wonderful job. I hope you are all able to enjoy this piece of art throughout this entire month. It'll be on our podcast, and it should be the icon. I know I got a comment about somebody about their app not updating with the proper icon. I don't know why that happens. Occasionally it's an issue, but if you're having that issue, please check it out on YouTube. We've got it right there so you can see the full piece. I do want to point out also the icons on the podcast app are a square version of the image, and it's really nice to get the full image in there for you. So yeah, be sure to check it out. Eliza, once again, did a really great job with this one. It's so cute. And she actually left us a little statement here that I'm going to read. She said, "This was an absolute blast to illustrate. I love Animal Crossing, this podcast, and the wonderful people who host it. While illustrating, I love to listen to the Haken podcast, yet so often I find myself inspired to drop everything and play Animal Crossing for the remainder of the day. But honestly, is that a bad thing? Because I don't believe it is. I'm so thankful for Animal Crossing and the beautiful escape it provides. The Animal Crossing community is an amazing one to be a part of. Needless to say, any friend of Sable's, Blather's, or Isabel's is a friend of mine. Thank you to my Haken friends for the opportunity to create an illustration of our mutual happy place." So once again, Eliza Grace did a wonderful job. Be sure to check the description in the show notes and the description on YouTube for all of their links. I've got her website, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and an Etsy shop. So it's really worth checking out all of the stuff she has. A lot of really cute artwork that she's got. It really gives me like a storybook vibe for sure. So yeah, go and check them out. So funny enough, this week turned out to have quite a few bits of news. One of them I made up just because I thought it was interesting enough to add there. But I'll go ahead and take you on this journey of what we've learned. The first one, and we're probably going to revisit this over and over throughout the year, Build-A-Bear, yet another new announcement from them. They have some new Animal Crossing themed accessories. They are a new PJ set that's got some like Animal Crossing designs and characters on it and whatnot. And then there are a bell bag accessory and a present accessory. So the bell bags and the presents, everybody knows them, pretty iconic in Animal Crossing, but those are both purchasable extras now. And it really bothers me that the winter outfits are not that. Like, why are they not just a separate clothing item that I can buy, you know? It's sad.
I mean, can these PJs even go over the outfits? I mean, the outfits come off, right? I haven't looked at my Nook in a few days.
So I have looked at my Nook and it's actually sewed on in just literally one little
Ooh.
section. Like if I wanted to get it off, it wouldn't be a difficult thing. Like it's literally just one little stitch or something that's got it
Mhm.
stuck to Tom Nook himself. So they,
Like
it,
like
yeah,
how
what were you
when
gonna
you
say?
buy fancy pants and the pockets are sewed shut, you have to like
Yeah,
undo them.
exactly. It's basically that, but even less than that.
Yeah,
Like it is just one little dot. If for any
Oh
computer
wow.
people, it's a pixel. It's a pixel
a
of a
stitch.
sewed on thing. Yeah, just a stitch. That's it. So, I mean, I haven't checked my Isabel too closely, but I imagine she's got the same thing going on.
Mhm.
And from what I've heard from other people, they have been able to get the clothing off regardless of that stitch or not. So it doesn't seem too difficult, but it does seem like, I don't know. Why I just want it to be something that I can get
Yeah.
because I keep looking at mine and I'm like, they would look so much better if it were winter. I mean, it makes sense right now to have the summer ones, but come winter, it's going to be really difficult for me to say no to those, you know?
That's true. I like the winter outfits. I mean, the bell bag in the present. Have you guys seen pictures of these? They don't look great.
Yeah.
I, yeah, I feel the same. Like I got a free bell bag with my I guess my pre-order of New Horizons from Best Buy. I got it
Mm,
digitally and I got one physically, right?
yeah.
The pre-order from Best Buy, they had a free bell bag included, and it's like you can actually put stuff in it and it's
Yes.
cute. So it's just better.
And with the new PJs, they're teasing us because it includes KK, but we still don't have the KK bear.
Oh, that's
I
true.
know. Yeah.
Ah,
So I mean we're probably pretty close to that third character getting announced, you
Yes.
know.
It's
And
gonna be announced at E3.
oh, that's a good guess actually. I'm not gonna lie, I think I could believe it. That all said, like I'm surprised they just like keep dropping all of these things over. I feel like
Right.
this collection, if it had all of this stuff from the get-go, it would have been a much better received launch for it, you know?
yeah.
Between having the two different outfits to choose from with each of them, all the sounds, all the accessories, I
Yeah.
think it should have launched like this, to be honest with you. And I know we said it last time that it should have launched like this too, but I think that remains to be true as we keep seeing more stuff pop up.
Yeah.
Um, but that said, I mean, we're getting into summer. I think the second wave of this stuff with the new character and everything, I'm hoping that one is a little bit more exciting. And then Sergio, I guess if it's KK Slider, you'll be getting
Oh
one,
yes,
right?
at least one. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Cool. So Build-A-Bear, I'm sure we'll revisit them plenty throughout this show. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next thing, which is also very exciting. But there is an Animal Crossing manga. It is a comic. I think it currently exists in Japan, but we've been waiting on a translation of it. That translation is coming out very soon. So Viz Media is doing this whole thing, and it's official, completely official. Nintendo knows about it. It's not like something that's going to disappear. But Viz Media has shown off the cover of the upcoming Animal Crossing manga book, and it is currently available to pre-order at Barnes and Noble. I think it was on Amazon as well or something. It's $9.99 for the book,
Mm,
so a lot cheaper than a Build-A-Bear plushie.
so exciting.
And yeah, this one's actually like really exciting. I forget what the little subtitle was for it. I think it's like Desert Island something.
Yeah,
I'm
Desert Island
opening,
Diary.
yeah, Desert Island Diary, and it looks really cute. The artwork they used for it, it just looks kind of, I don't know, it's fun. It's a cute little look for it. But yeah, it's gonna have a nice little story that we can follow, lots of great art, and I guess this is just gonna have to be our Animal Crossing movie for the time being, you know?
That's true. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I'm really excited to see what they've done with the book itself, and like what kind of story we're gonna get over here, and if it's gonna have aliens like the movie did.
Oh my gosh. I mean, if they bring back the spaceman Gulliver and bring back some aliens, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be really great. um, Especially we haven't gotten the space version of Gulliver, but to be honest with you, I mean that could be the summer update, just the spaceman Gulliver, some space items and a little astronaut outfit, and maybe we'll have to shoot a UFO out of the sky. I
That
wouldn't
was
mind.
so much
Oh,
fun.
nice.
That was hard. I honestly did it like once.
Yeah, because you had to shoot it 3 times, right?
Yeah, it came by. No, I don't know if you had to shoot it 3 times. I think the thing was like it came by once a week at a random time. And like it was really fast, a lot faster than the balloons. It was really just difficult to get. But honestly, I think that's something we need in this game. Just something really difficult to collect a lot of. I mean, we've still got Jolly Red and all those paintings and art pieces, but something else to kind of carry us through,
It was also like I don't know the right word for it. Not like awe-inspiring, but like almost scary. Like it was kind of weird and you didn't expect it. So like I can vividly remember the first time I saw that spaceship and being like, "What is happening?" So I feel like we are missing that kind of like I don't know, that kind of just like quirky, sort of scary, but really cool, I don't know, event in New Horizons. That would be really fun if we got added in.
Yeah, a really nice mystery surprise for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you're interested in reading this, once again, it's available or pre-order already on Barnes & Noble. It shouldn't be too hard to find. Just, probably search Animal Crossing manga or comic, and it should pop up right there. And I forget what the release date is for it. I think it's September.
Yes,
Oh.
middle of September. I just pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Yeah, I haven't yet because, like I said, I'm going to be in between places, and I'm like, I don't know where
Oh,
to
yeah.
send it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
myself quite yet. So yeah, I've been waiting, but pretty soon. I'm sure this one won't be too hard to find and get in stock. I think books are a little bit easier to print than Amiibo,
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you should be able to get this one pretty easily. The next thing I have on the news items, this is kind of older news, but I wanted to just mention it really quickly because I'm really excited about this game. Game Builder Garage has the ability to make some Animal Crossing things. So anybody who hasn't heard of this, Game Builder Garage is basically Nintendo's new game that's coming out, and it's going to teach I'm going to say people. I was going to say kids at first, but I'm like, I want to learn as well. But it's going to teach people how to program and create video games, basically. And people have paused the little screen to see the little demo previews that they've had. And there are like a little Animal Crossing pin world, a apple tree and everything. So you can make your own little Animal Crossing game there. You can build really anything, but
That's cool.
I just thought it was really cute that they showed off something that looked very familiar,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Are you both interested in this game at all?
I honestly didn't know about it until you you talked about it. So not yet, but I'll look into it.
I mean, it
my
looks very promising. I'm never really been into like games that allow you to make things. I rather play things, but
Mhm.
it does show a lot of potential, and it could lead to some really cool things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty interested just because I have like had all these little game ideas in my head and I'm just like, how do you even make a game? That just seems like an impossible task for me. So basically I'm really excited because I want to try to remake a WarioWare game on it.
Oh yes,
Just
do
make
it,
my own
do it.
and have that be like my intro class to learning how to make games,
Yes.
Um, And then a friend of mine, Rebecca, she actually sent me a little video of like a Super Nintendo version of Animal Crossing, like a
Whoa.
fan made thing. And I was like, well, that's the next thing I'm going to make after WarioWare.
After
So,
Chewy
yeah, Chewyware. Chewioware.
I I think this trailer is coming back to me now. Was it like really simplified art style of like almost like I don't know, little stick figure man, but
Yeah.
with more meat on him? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I'm with Sergio on this one. I think I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, it looks bright and colorful, but I'm pumped for it. I think it looks cute. So the last little piece of news here, and this one's the most vague piece of news, but Pocket Camp tweeted that you can now build a city in Pocket Camp. It basically all the tweet says is design your own roads and create your own original city. And then it shows a video of a character in this city type of landscape, and they just walk up and then see a sign that's changing between things. And
Yeah.
I don't know anything beyond that. I don't know if that's something people can do right now. And unfortunately, it's not something I can check because my phone can't run Pocket Camp anymore. It's literally not available on my phone. So I can't check. Somebody let me know what this is. It looks intriguing for for I don't know what it is. Yeah. Do either of you, have either of you seen this at all?
I just
No.
checked it out. I might have to load up Pocket Camp to see really what it's all about. But it look, I mean, anything they can add to Pocket Camp that makes it a little unique, I'm down for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. What about you, Nina?
I need to check it out too. I have been kind of needing some new mobile games and have been downloading some like weird ones just to pass some time. Um, and I don't know, maybe I'll get back into Pocket Camp. I've said it before and it hasn't lasted very long, but maybe this is what we need to kind of get back into it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it all just seems very vague. I'm very outside of the Pocket Camp world now just because
Yeah.
I was playing pretty regularly for a bit, but then the third year anniversary hit, and I think that's when they updated the game beyond the capabilities of my own phone. So
Mm-hmm.
after that, I dropped off. So I think that was last November. It's been about half a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I get up an updated phone and am able to return to it, I'll probably visit once again. It's also a really good way to get those Nintendo Platinum points and
Yeah.
just basically have points so you can get Animal Crossing rewards. I missed the Tom Nook keychain way back in the day, and it's never come back, and it probably
Oh.
never will.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I'm sorry.
sad day. I know. Just really I wanted it, and I had friends trying their darndest to get it for me,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, it sold out just before then.
Have you checked eBay?
I guess I haven't. I don't go too far out of my way to get them. But had I had the points, I would have been pumped. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is all of the latest news, at least from what I've seen. Next week, I think, is the last week before E3, so we'll probably do some final predictions on E3. We will talk about it a bit today, but yeah, hopefully we get to see some Animal Crossing stuff. So,
Yes.
this next segment, Nina, I'm going to have you take it away from here because this is your museum segment, a little special bit of knowledge for us, right?
Yeah, this will be a little segment that we can visit back from time to time to go through and learn a little more about Blathers and his museum because you guys know how much I love Blathers and the museum. Haven't named this segment yet. I gotta work on that. Maybe I'll make like a little drawing too. But it's like, let's have fun and learn with Blathers and Nina segment.
That sounds great.
There we go. So I'll be going alphabetically through all the artwork that's in the museum, using Red's titles. So like the weird little titles, like, magnificent painting or whatever. And I want to talk to you guys like about that painting and it's why it's important. And I want to do this because in the past Animal Crossing games, like one of my favorite things was to go through and read about like the fish and New Leaf and I actually like retain information and then end up in an aquarium and be like, wait a minute, I knew that about that fish,
Nice.
So I kind of want to give back a little bit and go a little deeper into this artwork where we get a little bit of info about each artwork and I'll talk about that too. But I want to talk about, again, why were these artworks chosen by Nintendo? Also, Nintendo, let's talk about getting more contemporary artwork in the museum and
Yeah.
then also artwork from outside of Europe and Asia. Like it is very centralized artwork. So,
Yeah.
we need an expansion, I think. We need like an art from around the world exhibit from Blathers.
Yeah, and what's always bugged me about that is that like the art section of the museum has pretty much always been smaller. There's always been less to collect and kind of less to, overall look at in
True.
that section,
True.
So I agree. We just need more of it all so we can enjoy it.
Definitely. Art from everywhere, more art, more info. The museum is there to either bore us or intrigue us, depending on your take on the museum. But what's wrong with more information? I love it. So we're going to be
Yeah.
starting with the academic painting. Do you guys know which one that is off the top of your
Ooh.
head?
That should be the Da Vinci one, right? The
Exactly.
man.
Yeah, the Vitruvian Man. So it's the one.
That's the word.
Yeah. It's the one that has like the dude posed with his arms out, but there's 4 arms and 4 legs, and he's in a circle and a square, and there's like writing all around it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's ink on paper, and it was by Da Vinci, and it does have a fake. I don't know how deep I want to go into these fakes. Do you guys want to know what about it is fake from Red, or should I just skip that?
I say go into it. I think it's been, over a year
been long
now
enough.
since we've gotten them out. So I think if people aren't, I guess, looking it up by this point, they probably will very soon.
I guess that's true. So it's fake, which I think is hilarious. It's just a little coffee stain up in the corner. That's amazing. And it was made circa 1487. There's some really old artworks in this museum. Blathers has got quite the collection going on.
Yeah.
And it's originally located in Venice, Italy, but it was on tour for a little while. I'm going to go into that a little deeper. It was in Paris for a little while, and it was a huge deal that it had moved it all because of how old it is and because it's just ink and paper. But we'll get into that in a second. Blathers has this to say about the artwork. It says, this drawing is based on the ideal human body ratio as stated in De Architectura, which was a treaty by Vitruvius, an architect from early 1st century BCE. So as old as this drawing is, it's based on, a written work that was even older, which is super interesting, I think. So I also wanted to kind of deep dive into the movement this comes from, which is the Italian Renaissance, which is like a super famous movement. I'm sure you guys some of the artworks from it, and like not only Da Vinci, but like all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are from this era.
Those are my favorite artists
Yeah.
from time.
Some big names. Some big names. Pizza, Shredder, all those things. But the reason why this movement was so huge was because of like this new global view that is happening. There's like a huge explosion in trade and global interaction, in part due to like acquisition of other countries. So some of it is bad, some of it is good. But its French meaning is rebirth, because this reemergence of Greek and Roman texts, which promote more free thought based in logic and reason over like religious feudalism, where there's someone telling you what to do every day. It's also like people are starting to pay for secular art, which means like, everyday art, instead of like the church paying for stuff to be painted. So there's this huge explosion of these paintings that never existed before of everyday life, which is amazing. As well as like mathematics, physics, chemistry, engineering, new music. Like it's a huge explosion out of the Dark Ages, into the Renaissance, which is super cool. Okay, talking about the artwork for a second. Like we said a second ago, Da Vinci was working to recreate that ideal human body ratio, which was described in those texts. But so that's where like the square and the circle comes from. That comes from the De Architectura texts. But also what I think is super interesting is he went around Milan and measured a bunch of male models to make sure that like, he's getting like all ranges of body types as he's drawing these pictures. And so it's another example of how like art and math are being, more prominent through this, are blending more prominently through this Renaissance experience, which is cool. This is also when like perspective drawing is invented, where like things look 3D on the page, and it blew people's minds, which I think is really cool. So, if you ever see a drawing that looks like it has depth, you can thank Da Vinci and the Ninja Turtles for that.
I think the Ninja Turtles for everything, really.
Exactly. This art, because this artwork is on like super delicate paper, just pen and ink, it's rarely on display. Any exposure to light deteriorates it greatly. So most recently, it was moved to the Louvre in Paris, like I think it was in October of 2019, I was reading, where it had to go to court. Just the transportation of this one piece of paper went to the court to make sure that France was going to take care of it, and Italy was being super picky about what was happening. They even had to put it to rest, like in a basement after its travels, because they were like, it's tired. It needs to rest. It's been exposed to too much. So,
maybe we all need that sometimes.
For real. But then, it was also like a huge deal for Paris and Italy to be, working together on this. So that's exciting. I don't know, I say 2019 October, but then we know soon after that, well, the coronavirus. So wait, hold on. Let me think about this. That was March 2020. So I don't know how long it was actually on display in the Louvre, and I don't know if it's still there or not. I'll have to look into that and get back to you guys, but I just thought it was super interesting that it's so fragile. And again, it's from 1487. It's unbelievable that this thing still exists, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is amazing. Like, it's fascinating to me that just like so many things that have gotten to that age and everything are just like people are trying desperately to preserve them and protect them.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense to be like, yeah, we're going to be picky about this because it's a really great piece of art and with so much historical meaning and value and everything. So it's really cool. Really cool that you were able to give us a good background on this, for sure.
Hopefully it was interesting and not too boring. But as I've been going through, I've done like 3 more after this. I've got a whole Excel spreadsheet I'm working on. And there's just some really fun facts coming up on some paintings and statues we have. So I'm excited to continue all of this.
Nice. No, it was pretty awesome. Thank you for that. And I think this gives us a reason. So we have the coffee stain right on this painting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame Brewster for that. that, and I think that's why he hasn't come back to the game.
Oh no. Oh no, he was helping transport it to the museum and something happened.
Yeah, that I mean that adds up to me.
Yeah.
Just like, he probably ran out of napkins and put it out for somebody, and the rest is history. He got kicked out.
I mean, it's probably that like Red, while he was making the fake recreation, was doing it at the Roost, having a cup of coffee.
Ooh, nice.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. It was drawing on the on the other paper and didn't notice the coffee cup there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brewster's somehow behind all these forgeries. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'm really excited to learn more about these, and I'm not gonna cheat, and because it's still May for us, I think that's a great way to end this International Museum Day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's the last day here, Monday for us. Tuesday, it's all gone. Everybody's off to get married at wedding season, right? So yeah, I think this was great, and I think this is something that Nintendo needs to revisit the Museum Day and give us some more in-depth stuff,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks, Nina. This next little segment, we are going to talk about Animal Crossing at E3. And like I said, next week we're going to go a lot more in-depth with this, probably make some real big predictions and that sort of thing. But for now, we kind of want to just talk about whether we expect Animal Crossing news there or not. And I think the big reason is there have been tons of rumors regarding the game and, all of the news. You're going to see a lot more over the next week or two because E3 brings that out for sure. So right now, what people are saying is they expect a big summer update. And I mean, the timing lines up. It is June, which means we have the last set of content for this last update, right? So wedding season, that's going to be the last little bit of new stuff. And then Nintendo's got to show us what's next. And people are expecting some big things. Some people are throwing around, there's always the Brewster guesses that are out there, but some people are throwing around things like Cap'n coming back and a minigame island and that sort of thing. But we're not going to go too deep into that. I want to ask both of you, do you expect to see any Animal Crossing news at E3? Why or why not? Sergio, do you want to start us off here?
Sure thing. And I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to say, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be to the extent we want to see. I think it's going to be minor. What I'm expecting from Nintendo is like a lot of things, very quick and very like in short bursts. And they're going to give out details later on as things are about to come around or get released. So I think they will talk about Animal Crossing, but I think it's going to be minor. I'll get into details as to what I expect they're going to announce, but to answer you, yes, we'll see it, but it's not going to be that big, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I'm at the same point with it as you. I think if we see it, it's going to be, just a little bit of updates on what, kind of like what we've been getting,
Yeah.
I have difficulty with that, though, too, because summer is like not the biggest thing in Animal Crossing as far as like events go and whatnot, but I don't know, I'm sure they'll find some new little events to give us some Nook shopping things for,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Nina, what do you think?
I'm being even more pessimistic than you two are being. I think at any other E3, we definitely would hear about Animal Crossing because they've got the fans there. They want to talk about fan favorite stuff and feed off that live audience. But this is online only. We don't even know yet like how often they're going to be streaming anything or if it's just going to be like a quick direct or
Right.
I mean it's just hard to predict at all what's going to happen. So I'm thinking they're going to stick with their heavy hitters. There's those rumors of the Switch Pro, there's Breath of the Wild 2, possibly Splatoon 3. we haven't heard of anything Mario in a while. Like, we need a new Mario Kart and a Mario Odyssey,
Ooh.
possibly. So, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's room for Animal Crossing. And like you just said, summer's not a big deal right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you definitely have a lot of big things listed that people are expecting for sure. It's just like it's Zelda's anniversary right
Hmm.
now, and we've gotten hardly anything. So I think for me, in my mind, I'm seeing more of a focus around Zelda and kind of what's
Yes.
going on there.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And
that's kind of where I'm at.
and
Yeah.
unless they're planning like pay DLC, they're probably thinking, well, we already got their money. They already bought at least one copy of the game, and yeah, we're gonna give them a couple free more things, but we don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like we said last week, all of us, we're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
It's true.
It
It's
doesn't
true.
it doesn't matter really what it is, but we're interested. We've already bought it.
Yeah. And if they are going to announce paid DLC to Animal Crossing, I don't think they would do it over E3 because it could
Hmm.
possibly be like backfire, and I think they only want good news at E3. They they want to win E3 like they try to do every year. And I don't think paid DLC is the way to do that.
Yeah. I almost forgot that was a thing. Winning E3.
Yeah.
That's something people tend to look at every
Yeah.
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. So next question for both of you. If we see Animal Crossing at E3, do you think it'll be a big announcement? And I guess, Sergio, you kind of already said you don't think so, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're gonna, if they even talk about it, it's gonna be about the free content that we're gonna be getting. And I think if anything, they're gonna basically confirm that we're gonna get free updates every quarter, like every 3 months or so. So,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
which is it's a little bit less than what we have been getting at least for the first year. But I think it makes sense, and and that's what I'm expecting. And I don't think we're gonna hear about it during the presentation. Maybe through news outlets or through a tweet or something. But unfortunately, I'm not expecting much. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I would love to see more Animal Crossing, but I think we had our moment in the sun, so Nintendo's probably looking at something else right now.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a really great moment, I'd say.
Yes.
We
Oh yeah.
became the second best-selling game on the Switch. That's awesome. I say it we as if we're a part of that. I got we kind of are to the
We kind
Yeah.
of
extent that we
are.
bought
Yeah.
it. We bought
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think like you, Sergio, we've had our fun, we've had our time, and well, I guess we'll just get whatever we get as it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm at the same point too, basically. Like I said earlier, I don't think there will be a huge announcement for this, but the only possibility I see in that is just the fact that it's summer. There's not much going on in the summer in the game, so maybe if they want to fill those months up a little bit more, that'd be
Hmm.
possible. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have my fingers animal crossed this year. Yeah. What do you feel, Nina?
I mean, I would love to be surprised with the announcement of the online compatibility for Mario Party. It would be awesome if they were like, and guess what's online also now? You get to play with your friends on Animal Crossing. Like if a Tortimore Island was,
Ooh.
that would be amazing. But again, summer's not huge. We already know what's happening in June. So they could possibly tell us what's going on in July and August. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen, but hopefully something interesting, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So my last question for both of you. If we don't see Animal Crossing at E3, are you going to be upset about it? What do you think, Nina?
No, I don't think so. I mean, again, I'm not really expecting much, but and there's other games I'm looking forward to, but I've really enjoyed how Nintendo has been dealing with news for Animal Crossing through their Twitter account. It keeps us updated regularly. I think it's a great example of like interacting with fans and keeping us in touch without making like huge direct announcements and overhyping people when it's really just going to be little downloadable holiday things. So I feel like they've been doing a really good job balancing their announcements for us.
Now that you put it that way too, like I kind of wouldn't mind if they didn't announce it at this point. It's just like
Yeah.
all of a sudden you get the alert on your Switch or something if you're playing, and it's like, oh, Animal Crossing updated, and then we could just check. I think I keep thinking about like how negative the conversations around Animal Crossing New Horizons are with people, and part of me is just like, I kind of doubt a lot of people who are complaining about it slash angry about the game would have done that had the announcements not happened, because I think most people probably get their fill of Animal Crossing within 3 months, but now that the game keeps being brought to the forefront each time and the updates are relatively small, I feel like now they're thinking, oh, I wish this game had more going for it,
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, just basically it keeps getting brought up, so people get upset about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, Nina, we talked to you about if you'd be upset, right? Sergio, how would you feel?
I wouldn't be upset either. I think if there's an E3 where Animal Crossing is not gonna show up, it's gonna be this one. I think it's starting next year. A lot of us are gonna be hoping again, either for something substantial or maybe for like a new spin-off, which would be pretty awesome. I mean, that would be pretty awesome this year, but like I said, I kind of not hoping for that, or not expecting that, rather.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think definitely Nintendo's gonna be talking about Zelda, and yeah, I wouldn't be upset. It kind of makes sense. I'm very excited for this winter already. We're getting 3 Pokemon games as it is, so anything else is kind of a bonus for me. I'm set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a lot of Pokemon for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm at the same place with both of you. I don't think I'll be upset, especially if we see Breath of the Wild 2. I would be very happy, just with that. I think in general, I'm having fun with other games, so I can wait for Animal Crossing updates and be pretty okay, I
Yeah.
already feel like I enjoyed the game, I had my fun, and I loved it, and any little thing that they keep adding is pretty great.
Yeah.
But, they can always add more, and I won't mind,
They do like to surprise us, so
That's
we
true.
never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work on things that nobody expects them to be working on, so
Yeah.
we could get a huge surprise and see something really amazing that we
Yeah,
didn't
like all of a
foresee.
sudden we can hug our villagers. We had to pay $10 for DLC, but we would do it, and we would be happy about it.
Yeah, that'd be great. I did want to tell both of you, yesterday, Sunday, was the first day since this game came out that I didn't play.
Oh, what were you
Oh.
doing?
I was being upset that I forgot to log back in on Saturday again to get KK Slider.
Oh, that's
And
the real
then-
mistake here.
Yeah, I know. See, I was sad about that, and then I was like, I don't even want to look at your faces today, so I played other
gosh.
games. No, but that all said, like, as I think about it, I'm kind of sad this is the case because of, we used to have Animal Cross Sundays, right, Sergio?
Yes.
That was Animal Crossing Day, but now that I've played this long, I'm like, there's really nothing going on Sunday in this game.
No,
Yeah,
nothing.
There aren't any of the special visitors. KK Slider is only there on Sundays if there was an event on Saturday,
Right.
So Sunday seems to be like the day to skip to me.
Oh, I've been
at this
skipping
point.
Sundays for years.
Yeah,
By years, I mean
See?
weeks, but
but yeah, see, there's like not too much going on with Animal Cross Sunday in this
Yeah.
game. Yeah, so I mean, I missed it yesterday. I did think about it briefly, but I didn't put enough thought about it into it to actually go. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I missed a day and I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling all
Yeah.
right with
Mm.
it.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've said this before, like I think Animal Crossing for me is still really great when it's just like logging in for 10 minutes or something and enjoying what's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our last segment of the show. And this week, that is Haken's Islander Corner, as usual. We asked our patrons on Patreon a question and read their answers out loud on the show here for you. This week's question was, is there any villager you regret letting move? And this is a pretty fun one. It came to me just like, I don't know, out of nowhere, basically. And I was like, I'm sure there's some people who have some villagers that they're like, oh, I wish I could get them back, you know?
Well, why did it come to you? Do you have someone that you regret leaving?
Um, well, I guess I thought about it kind of recently with like Bon Bon, for example. I've been really wanting her to come back to my island, you know? And I guess I could have thought about it a lot sooner because I always mentioned like Jackie and her experience with Eugene, you know. I mean, she's over it at this point. She was like, I don't think I care as much anymore. But yeah, Eugene was one for her. So, yeah, just kind of thought about it recently. Just popped in my head. So we'll go Sergio, then Nina, then me on these.
Okay.
Sounds good. Then the first answer is from For the Whim, and they said, one of my first villagers was Sterling, and I seriously regret letting him move away. He is by far the coolest jog with his little knight helmet and outfit. I've been trying to villager hunt for him, as I don't have an amiibo card for him, and haven't had any luck in getting him back since I started playing at launch. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, villager hunting takes a while, but I mean, hopefully, good luck to you, because when you want that villager, yeah, it's a big win if you get them for sure.
Yeah. I don't have the strength to go through that. I feel like I just need to get somebody I like in about 10 tries, and if not, it's an autofill for me.
Well, and you can always buy the cards on eBay if you ever
That's
want
true.
just one. Go get it.
Or make your own if you have an Android phone, right?
There you go. Nebula says, honestly, no. I sometimes regret letting someone move shortly after, but there are so many lovely villagers in the game that I end up with someone else just as interesting, which I really like this. I kind of feel the same
Yeah.
way as Nebula. There's always new friends to be made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's how I look at it a lot these days too, as I'm trying to collect all the villager photos. I'm just like, you know what? One day when I have them all, I'll go and, you know, just pick out the few that I really want around, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I still have Pearl and Grizzly around, so that's great.
nice.
So Anna Eleanor said, I regret letting Flora move away because she was always doing her own thing. She never got into any fights and always gave me good recipes. I let her move because Bones was visiting and I wanted a dog in my island. I regretted so much that I'm waiting for Flora's amiibo to arrive this week.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to do it. If you really want this character, a lot of them have amiibo out there.
Yeah, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
Nice. So Brittany Coppin said, there isn't anyone that I've looked back on with regret. I usually just end up excited about who is moving in next. Last week my daughter let Fauna leave accidentally, and while I was sad at first, Cherwa moved in and she's so lovely. I'm not sad anymore that it happened. Yeah, that's true. It's a nice way to discover villagers that you may not have had in your sights, and you might like them maybe even more than the one before.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's always nice when you get to meet somebody new that
Yeah.
replaces that emptiness.
Oh man, someone letting someone go accidentally though is rough. That could have
Oh,
ended
yeah.
much worse than it did.
Mhm.
Jeslyn says, I forgot about getting Islanders pictures at first, so I regret letting my first Islanders, Mac and Plucky, go without getting their pictures. Yes. I didn't do this either.
I did the same thing. I let tons of villagers go before I got their photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Niji Pixie said, or Niji Pixie, sorry. I don't particularly regret it, but I do miss Rold and his round eyes and belly sometimes. He was one of my starters. I did send him off to a good home, so that gives me peace of mind. Now that I remember it, I wish I knew we could get framed pictures of our villagers before I sent away Bertha and Kashmir. I believe it's only natural to shuffle our villagers and let some go. I'm actually so ready to send away about half of them. So yeah, I mean, when you're in the mood to just like clean house and make things new, that's a good way to do it. Yeah. Also, Bertha's great. I've been really liking Bertha. Doesn't Nietzsche really like Bertha?
It's her favorite. She's so in love with Bertha. It's adorable.
Yeah, I think she's great. I think that's a great one. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description and you can talk to other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio, Nina, and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChuiPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chuy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube, the comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. Is there any villager you regret letting move? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a Wild production brought to you by Chuy, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all next time.